What's up YouTube, doing here with the Legion starter builds video. So there's a lot of information here, so I'll try to keep it relatively quick. I've done a TLDR of the patch notes. If you want to see that, it's in the description of this video. Basically, all melee builds were buffed. Casters are the same, minions are the same, bows are the same. There's a few minor changes here and there on the skill tree, but nothing major for most builds. For all of these build guides, you'll need something called Path of Building. Again, all these links are in the description. You just go down there, you download Path of Building, and it'll look like this, right? You have this Path of Building, whatever, you can make a build. You can import your characters, you just type in your account name, hit start, collect a character, whatever you want. Or you can just import from Pastebin, which is what most people will give you. They'll give you a Pastebin link, you just click this, paste the link, it'll import the character for you. That's all you gotta do. It's already been updated with the new skill tree, so if you have an older build, you can still see if it's viable. It'll have the old trees like this, and you can just click this convert to 3.7 button right here to change it to the new tree. You might be missing a couple skill points because of something they changed, but you just re-add those points and you're good to go. So nothing too crazy there. I've already fixed all of my forum guides, or I will be fixing all of my forum guides shortly. They're just like a couple points different on most of them, otherwise they're exactly the same. Next thing you'll need to know is Filter Blade. If you want to get a loot filter, which if you're new to Path of Exile, you will need. Filterblade.xyz is Neversinks. He's one of the main filter creators. You can go down there, just download like all of the presets, and you're good to go. You can download all strictness levels right there, and then to select them, you just go to Options, UI, and right here there'll be a bunch of list of filters. If you put it in Documents, My Games, Path of Exile, just unzip it into that folder, you're good to go. So, I also have a how to make any build budget link in the description. I have a bunch of other information down there, so let's go ahead and get into the actual build guides. My main recommended guides are going to be mostly melee focused, but there's a lot of like casters and stuff from previous leagues as well. My Flying Purple People Slayer, which is like all melee skills. So if you want to play two-handed tanky melee, this is a great build for you. All of those skills have been buffed. Slayer has been buffed. You could do it as Gladiator, Berserker, Champion, I don't even know, like all of those, Juggernaut, they've all been buffed. So you can do that with any of those, or you can just follow this guide. It's a really good build. I've been using it since, I think, 2.6, through the ups and downs of melee and life and ES and whatever. It's a great build. It's just getting stronger and stronger every league, basically. And this league, they've given Lacerate a huge, like, stance flipping thing. You can do blood or sand Lacerate as well, which is pretty cool. Next build guide is my Lightning Trap Sabo. I've been recommending this for, oh god, I think since 3.0. It's completely unchanged this league. I think there's like 3 skill points different on the skill tree, otherwise completely unchanged. So if you played it last league or the league before, it's still really, really good, and you'll have a great time with it. It's just a crit lightning trapper, basically, and you can use more or less any trap skill with it. If you don't want to use Lightning Trap, you can use Arc Traps, you can use Purifying Flame Traps. Literally any spell you can think of that works with a trap should work with that skill tree. So keep that in mind if you don't like the way Lightning Trap feels. The next build is a Molten Strike Juggernaut. They did change Molten Strike, so it's like less single target, I believe, but it's fine. It's like one of the highest single target skills in the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a super tanky build, both based around stacking endurance charges and Nebulock. So you get less elemental damage taken per endurance charge, and you're a Juggernaut, so you already are immune to phase more or less. So it's just a really tanky character. It can be used as a lab farmer, it can be used as a league starter, it doesn't matter. Like Molten Strike is just a great all-around skill from early on to like level 100, so do whatever you want with it from there. This is a Flicker Strike Inquisitor. I'm sorry if I'm going really fast, I'm trying to keep this like succinct, but this is a Flicker Strike Inquisitor. Crit one-handed swords, and you can just kind of do whatever you want, and a shield as well. But you just flicker around. They buff Flicker Strike pretty heavily this league, and you're just playing crit. Like it should be really, really fast and really fun. You'll be kind of squishy, but you'll be one-shotting everything if you have good gear. You can just multi-mod yourself a nice little sword, and you'll be good to go. Next build is Lael's, one of Lael's builds. This is an 8 Golem Elementalist, completely unchanged. You basically just run around and let your golems kill everything. It's very budget to start as well. Like you can start it off with just 2 of the Golem one-handed maces. I don't remember what they're called. Something breaker, I don't know, but they're really, really good, and like it's a great boss farmer or lab farmer. It's not like the tankiest mapper, but you can put melee splash into the minions and make it like pretty freaking good for AoE clear as well. Like look how fast those little Sonic boys are. They're great. I like this build a lot. It was a really fun build when I played it. The next one is my Righteous Fire Chieftain build guide, which is I think the first forum build guide that I ever wrote like 3 years ago now or something. 2 years, yeah, almost 3 years ago now, and it's been around ever since. It's a great build. It's based around having a Rise of the Phoenix and a Dune Gubiare. You stack strength, you stack life, and then you get a fuckload of life and you run around and burn things. Very simple concept. They fixed the annoying brutality stuff, so you can get away with like your normal gem links now. You don't have to rely on brutality to prevent your shield charge from negatively applying fire res to enemies. They fixed that. So you can just run around and burn stuff now without having to worry about anything. It's just a reliable build. I used it to farm labs since it came out, basically. Like that first league that lab came out, I made this build for that purpose, and it's been getting stronger and stronger every league since. The next build would be Scorching Ray, Might Over Matter Trickster. Pretty simple character. You just stack a bunch of fire damage, burning damage, and you just have a decent amount of life and dodge and Mind Over Matter for your extra defensive mechanics. Very simple build. It should work with most fire skills as well if you don't want to use Scorching Ray, but you just kind of burn things. You got lots of sustain, lots of life regen, free endurance, free power, frenzy charges. You know, simple build, nice and clean league starter. And now we're gonna get into some more expensive endgame style of builds. This is a Scourge Arrow character, which they fixed the issue. The only issue that I had with Scourge Arrow is that it got stuck on doorways a lot, so if you try to shoot through a doorway, the projectile will hit the doorway. They fixed that. It's no longer a problem. They made the arrows much smaller when it comes to doors, so you don't get stuck on terrain as much. And if you've been maxed out hard enough, you should be able to one-shot most content in the game. Like, that is 2 shots, 3 shots to kill Shaper. Pretty good. So yeah, that's just a fun build to start out with. It's just like a starter bow character that you just play fizz bows, convert to cold, more or less, and then you just scale it up in endgame. It's a good build. 10 out of 10 would play. Next one would be Blade Flurry Reeve Champion. Champion was buffed pretty heavily for single target and sustain and whatnot, but you can achieve some ridiculous numbers, like, I think, what was Dawn getting lastly, like 6 or 7 or 8 mil DPS? Like, this is fully mirrored here, you know, but even if you get, like, say 2 mil, 3 mil DPS, it's enough to one-shot most things in the game. That was a Guardian. Was being the keyword. But yeah, if you push it hard, melee builds with all the new buffs and stuff, you should be able to achieve, like, 5, 10, 20 million DPS relatively easily. I say relatively, if you have, like, say, 25 to 50 to 100x, you know? The more you invest, the farther you can push it. I would say that you can probably cap out at, like, 50 to 75 mil DPS with perfect mirrored gear and jewels. Which is ridiculous. It's the highest HP boss in the game is Shaper, and he has 19 million health, which is what that was. 19 million health. Let's see what we got here. This is a Consecrated Path Chieftain. They buffed Chieftain to be pretty heavily focused into fire damage attacks. So Consecrated Path, Tectonic Slam, Molten Strike. Oh god, there's always other ones that I forget. All of those are fire-based. Infernal Blow. Any of the fire-based melee skills, like, you can use this build guide for, and you'll be able to just, like, one-shot things. Along with being really tanky and pretty easy to level up with. Like, they made it so a lot of the power level on melee gems comes from the levels now, because you get flat damage per level on most of the melee skills, which means that as you level up your skill gems, you'll just get more damage instead of relying entirely on upgrading your weapon like it used to be. So that's been fixed. Next one would be my legacy, my MF Windripper. It is a lot of legacy items, but not everybody, a lot of people start with MF Windripper in every single league, right? Because it's just a great way to farm currency. Like, if you have a team or an Orabot or whatever to help pad your damage early on, it allows you to just keep pushing and just farm an insane amount of currency over time. It's just time in, currency out, basically. If you're gonna play 10 hours a day, if you MF 10 hours a day, you'll make more currency than somebody who doesn't, right? Pretty simple. The concept is the same. They did nerf Abyssal Jewels quite a bit, but I've done up to T16 without any jewels, without Unnatural Instinct, which was also nerfed in the Scion cluster. No jewels, no Abyssal Jewels, no Unnatural Instinct, no Windripper. I just did it with a white short bow, and I did T16 Guardian maps with like a 15k tooltip. Like, you can do it. I have like a 100k tooltip on this, but that's with min-maxing. You'll get there eventually. Just try to aim for as good as you can. As long as you can clear whatever maps you're trying to clear, you'll be fine. It's a really fun build. I've played it. I think it's one of my most played characters now. I think I have like something like 2,000 plus hours played on just this character, so. Oh, there was another build I had on here that I didn't. I gotta find it real quick. Shit. But I'll get that in a second. So there's 2 other forum guides that aren't from me. They are Sovin's Lazy Paladin, Tanky Templar with max block. He hasn't updated this quite yet, but I'm sure he will soon. He's very, very thorough. Like, if you're brand new to PoE and you want to see how to play melee, like, this guy is an insanely detailed player. He explains literally everything, like starter gear, links, like everything is in this video, or in this forum guide. It's pretty great. It even shows like level 1 onwards gear, so you can see how you should be progressing, you know, stuff like that. It's just one of those builds that is just like, if you want to learn how to play PoE as well as play a character that works all the time, this is one of those that will work for you. And the other one that people always recommend to everybody is Enki's Archwitch. It's just like the same thing as this, but for a caster. It's super, super noob friendly. It explains literally everything, how to do everything, like every possible option for everything, every like alternative gem setup. He's been playing this build forever and ever and ever. And it's the same style. It shows you like level up gear and whatnot. I don't know. It's just a good lightning caster. It works for all content, all map mods, you know, good overall. Enki's he's a streamer as well, so you should check him out if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm gonna grab this other build real quick. Okay, so here's the last one. This was one of my Synthesis League starter builds from last league, but it's effectively just a extremely generic elemental caster. So you can think of an elemental spell, it works with this character. Like I tested it with basically everything on like a 4-link with like 1C gear, and I'm able to clear T3, T4, T5 maps with it. So it's super basic, and it works with Templar, Witch, Shadow, or Scion. So any of those ascendancies, they will all work with this character. So if you can't decide on something and you just want to play a spellcaster, you can pick this with any of those, any ascendancy, and you'll be able to play the game. It's just like super, super generic. So if you have any questions or about any of these builds, or any of the forum guides aren't completely updated yet, just post in them and I will go ahead and fix that as soon as I can if anything's broken. I'm going to spend the rest of today just like fixing forum guides and maybe streaming that process. I don't know, we'll see. My stream is twitch.tv/demi if you want to go hang out there and like watch me stream League Start. I haven't decided on what I'm going to play yet. I'm leaning towards Cyclone. Probably going to do Cyclone Slayer, a version of Flying Purple People, basically. I forgot to mention that. Flying Purple People has every single gem link in the Path of Building. So if you want to pick a different melee skill, they're all there. Path of Building does not have the new gems linked yet. Like, they're not updated yet, but the skill tree is. So that's the main thing that you need to worry about, right? But I think that's it. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments or the forum guides, or join my Discord. Links to all of these videos will be in the description of this video. Hopefully you guys have a good League start. Hopefully you get a mirror drop day 1 of League, and then hold on to it for like 2 weeks and sell it for 100x, you know, something like that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Not so much about the League content, more so about the melee rework and the combat rework. Like, I want to just experience PoE again, basically. So I will see you guys in Legion. Hope you enjoyed the video, and that'll be demi out.